The Nintendo Wii was a huge retail success. We saw that whenever we noticed that they were selling millions and millions of consoles within the first year. Now, another great thing is it came bundled with Wii Sports, which was a perfect game to sell the Wii because it was a pack-in title and it really made the Wii show what it was worth. It was all about those motion controls, and honestly, Wii Sports is probably still one of the best games on the system. Now, I know there are other games on it, but it is still a really solid game. Well, apparently THQ kind of made their own Wii Sports game called Big Family Games. It was basically one of those knockoffs. It wasn't a good game, but in order to kind of build hype for it, they decided they would try to build a marketing campaign and really build something. Well, that is where the Queen of England comes in. Well, the Queen had already gone out saying she was a big fan of Wii Sports, and honestly, Big Family Gaming was mostly horseshoes, so that was something that THQ thought would be a big deal for the Queen of England to kind of help them with their marketing. So what they decided to do was commission a Golden Wii, which is honestly pretty amazing and it looks really cool. Well, what had happened was THQ had released this and sent it to the Queen, and honestly, the Queen never accepted it, and it just got shipped back to THQ at another location and just kind of forgotten about until in 2017 a collector had ended up getting his hands on it over in the Netherlands, and he was a big console collector. And then more recently, Chris Bratt, who's put out a video of him kind of giving the history and talking about it. And that's kind of what prompted this video here. This is kind of a newsworthy topic to me, is a gold Wii that never really was talked about, but then all of a sudden it surfaces and a collector has it in their possession, which is really, really awesome because honestly, it never even made it to who it was supposed to go to, and these things were never sold. So that is one of those things that people probably heard about but never really thought it was real. It was probably like a myth or something like that. But to see this come to fruition and actually be a real console and to have someone show it off on YouTube is so awesome. Now, I know that people were probably like, oh, that's just been painted or something like that. However, they kind of traced it back from the THQ kind of before they ran out of money and went bankrupt, and they made it their way to this guy in the Netherlands, and now this Chris Bratt is kind of tracking that, and he kind of did a very well job because he was very particular about it, and he figured out start at THQ, which is something that's no longer a thing, and he talked to several people that work there, and he eventually found out that, hey, there is someone who knows where this Wii is, and to find it is absolutely like a needle in a haystack, or like a gold Wii in a haystack. Oh. Well, whatever. Back to the story. So apparently he has tracked this down and he goes and checks it out. And yes, indeed, it is a golden Nintendo Wii, which is absolutely awesome. And it has the controller with it, which is pretty sweet. And the collector even was displaying a Big Family Games. And they kind of made a joke about how no one ever probably has displayed Big Family Games, but this one collector, which is pretty cool. The funny part is he actually talks about how he only has like 35 games, which I may have a little bit more than 35 games, but he had over like 250 consoles, so it seems like he was a big collector and he had a bunch of cool stuff. And then the guy, Chris Bratt, is like, well, I'm here for the Golden Wii, I want to see it. And he kind of like pans to it and it's just lit up. It looks great. It is golden like it said it is, and it is displayed very well. And that's one thing I like to see, is I like to see things well documented in the gaming community and also being taken care of and treasured, because games are fun, and if you lose those games, you may never be able to get them back, and that's why this was kind of a cool thing, is it was able to be traced and able to eventually be found, which I thought was very awesome. Now, Chris Bratt did have a video on it, and it was a very, very good video. So check that out if you haven't. I'll put it down below in the description. But they found the Golden Wii, and that is something that is always something that's cool and something I'd heard about, but I didn't know if it was actually real. And THQ apparently really made it, and it's still a real thing, so that is really cool. So with that being said, if you like videos like this that are kind of weird and wacky and kind of newsworthy, but kind of out of the ordinary and not covered so much, please comment down below and let me know. And if you have any news that you found, hit me up on Twitter, send me the link or whatever, and I'll check it out. With that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Big Cartel, Patreon. All that stuff is down below in the description. Check that out if you're interested. Since you're already here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. But most importantly, have a good day.